of natural selection. People slammed in detention when pent-up stress was the cause for the sad intervention. I'm on the road to reach out and bless each man with a flow to speak out and exercise the right to be a part of anything from mics to jumping in leotards. I ain't free of scars, but I'll run to the last bench and see your name getting spoken in past tense. You was crafty to your last men, so I wrote down the notes, ink soaked to my parchment. You see these days there ain't nothing you can trust, from government run funds to environmental costs. We place tax into the palm of a hand, and it's given to every member who was part of the scam, yo. We ain't messing around no more. Fuck the government and all your fraud laws. We ain't messing around no more. In a world so wrong. I wish we had CCTV to put into the offices of Downing Street and have a big screen in every city, town, village, and single mothers committee and see these clowns' limits. If they ain't down with it, then that proves my point. We'll set up rebel forces and fucking loot the joint and keep these guys pressurized like a canister. Make them slide down from the top on a banister. You can never mark the day on your calendar when looks can create defamation of character. I've seen it many times. You give them plenty signs. See, there's a limit to expand on your empty mind. To turn around, look back when you step in time and see exactly whose life that you jeopardize. So are you men or mice, or just a mixture of hell and Christ, transfixed with embedded lies? Yeah. We ain't messing around no more. Fuck the government and all your fraud laws. So fuck the corporates, I ain't conforming to forfeits. Take the exit, watch me walk out the door quick. I use my time with the best of my facilities, perfecting my abilities and tripling the trilogy, revealing stories of a lifetime. And I'm living it the same way as you with one lifeline. I don't fight crime or even try create it. My plan's to bring up my name cause I'm underrated and underfunded. Functions are drug related. TV license, the guidance, I'm up to blaze it. You love to hate this miracle I'm working. Operate clinical, the verbalist surgeon. I leave ruins like history. Defend the fortress with my wisdom speech. Collect my list up of the sickest beats, and I'll make you stand still and just kiss your teeth. Listen, yo. We ain't messing around no more. Fuck the government and all your fraud laws. We ain't messing around no more. In a world so wrong.
I am blasted by the responsibility I have. I am humbled by the knowledge that I have accrued. I do not have the words or the intellect, as primitive and weak as I am, to somehow reach out to your human soul and attempt to activate the spirit of the universe that is in all of our souls.
And this next story is difficult to watch, even tougher to believe. A good Samaritan on the streets of New York City sees someone in distress and steps in to help, but when he becomes the victim for helping, no one steps up for him, with tragic consequences.
Police say he was a good Samaritan. 31-year-old Hugo tailed Yaks, stabbed as he tried to protect a woman from a mugger. This surveillance tape shows him bleeding to death on the sidewalk as 25 people passed him by. In that hour and 20 minutes, one man takes a cell phone picture, another actually lifts his body, sees the blood, and walks away. By the time paramedics got there, it was too late.
But an experiment is not a public opinion poll. It examines behavior under the pressure of social forces, as the experiment of Solomon Asch reveals.
The experiment you'll be taking part in today involves the perception of lengths of lines. As you can see here, I have a number of cards, and on each card there are several lines. Your task is a very simple one. You're to look at the line on the left and determine which of the three lines on the right is equal to it in length. All right, we'll proceed in this order. You'll give your answer.
Only one of the people in the group is a real subject, the fifth person with the white T-shirt. The others are confederates of the experimenter and have been told to give wrong answers on some of the trials. The experiment begins uneventfully as subjects give their judgments.
2, 2, 2, 2,
2,
3,
3,
3, 3,
But on the third trial, something happens.
2,
2,
2,
2,
2.
The subject denies the evidence of his own eyes and yields to group influence.
1.
1.
They must be right. There are 4 of them and 1 of me.
1.
This subject's yielding is based on a distortion of his judgment. He genuinely believes that the group is correct.
I was in a half kind of wake state, waking up the other day, and going around my head was this statement: love is not what you are in, I'm in love with you, love is what you are. And at that level of love, the true definition of love, not attraction, but love for all, love for self, it has no fear. It only does, not what it believes to be right, it does what it knows to be right. And it chooses freedom, and freedom and love do not do consequences. There's no mental gymnastics, oh, I want freedom, but what are the consequences for me of going down there? Freedom doesn't do consequences, love doesn't do consequences, it does what it believes to be right. And I tell you what, when you get to this level of consciousness, Alex, something that would change this world overnight because of all that would come from it, if people started making decisions not based on what is right for me in the circumstances before me, and that turns out often not to be right for you anyway, but what is right, end of story, in the circumstances that I face. What is right, what is just, what is fair, what do I need to do to pursue that version of what is right? And if we did that, there'd be no hunger, there'd be no conflict, there'd be no child abuse, there'd be no environmental abuse, there'd be none of this stuff. We'd be in a completely different level of consciousness, and therefore we'd be in a completely different level of experiences of this world. As Albert Einstein said, you cannot solve problems with the same level of consciousness that created them. And because we've got caught in body consciousness and not the high soul consciousness, if you like, that we really are, therefore we bring a political party in with a certain level of consciousness, and we replace it with another with the same level of consciousness. We interact with the world with the same level of consciousness, and then we wonder why the world never changes for the better, because the same level of consciousness that is creating the problems then returns to create more problems. We have to move into an expanded level of awareness of who we are, the nature of reality, the illusory nature of reality that we live in, and then we can have a paradise here.